It's too far away.
A while back I did a video where I asked you guys if you would be interested into delving into more information for how each class plays in hardcore WoW. A ton of you said yes, so here we are. I've decided to start off with a class that's very close to my heart. It is the first class I ever made in WoW all those years ago, and a class that has certain reputations. Some of them good, some of them not so good. The Hunter. As per usual, I will eventually cover all classes in the game and will aim to break down their strengths and weaknesses, as well as including tips to help you on your hardcore journey, such as talents, important abilities to prioritize while leveling, weapon progression where relevant, macros, add-ons, all that kind of stuff. So let's make a start. The Hunter. Often seen as one of the most capable soloing classes in the game, with a toolkit of CC, consistent damage, and a pet to ensure that you can sit comfortably 30 yards away from danger, firing your bow. It's also often the case that people recommend Hunter as a good class for newer players in general to World of Warcraft, just because they play so smoothly and safely. Yet whilst Hunter is easy to pick up, I also believe it's the single highest skill cap class in the game, with a pet control, tons of mechanics you don't find on any other class in the game, and a habit of making the player perhaps a little too confident going into dangerous situations. There is a ton to talk about here, so let's break down the Hunter in Hardcore WoW. Coming in fresh to Hardcore, it's hard to not recommend having the Hunter near the top of the list, and it's the combination of having a very capable pet tank alongside a huge auto-attack range that really makes the Hunter a very safe class to level if you are taking things slow. But just as I mentioned, this class has a ton of unique mechanics that you need to be aware of. For example, during vanilla, ranged auto-attacks have a minimum of 8 yards, and melee is 5 yards minimum, so if an enemy is standing in that 5 to 8 yard distance away from you, you will be unable to attack them at all. This is called the dead zone, and in leveling focused content tends to be less of a problem, but there are still many mobs which can root with nets or frost novas, so try to avoid getting caught out and being unable to deal any damage. Melee and range swing timers are also separated in vanilla, meaning if you are min-maxing, you can have your pet hit one target with a second mob hitting you, and then tab between them to raptor strike or just melee when it comes off of cooldown. Much more of a speedrun type thing to do, but it is fun to pull off. And we should talk about your pet too. In Classic, it's not a mindless beast that you can just have exist next to you and forget about it. Your pet needs to be actively worked on just as much as your character does. To start off with, you don't get a pet until level 10, and those first 10 levels can actually be quite painful as you won't have access to wing clip to help kiting. You will have concussive shot, but generally don't overpull like crazy when you're going fresh out of your starter zone. Once you do hit 10 and finish your pet quest, you will not have access to some of the core abilities to maintain your pet, such as Revive Pet, Feed Pet, and Beast Training. You will need to venture to your near faction capital city to pick these up, and when you tame your first pet, they are not going to be very happy, and if their happiness goes low enough, they will just straight up run off. So make sure your pet doesn't die before you finish this quest, or just go get it done as a priority. You will also want to feed your pet to increase its happiness. Each pet eats different food, which you can check via the pet tab under your character. Higher tiers of food give more happiness, and you should be feeding them food which is roughly the same as their level. This directly boosts the damage that they deal, as well as causing your pet to gain loyalty. What's a loyalty, you ask? Well, it's a stat that determines how much your pet likes you, and it's a stat that you want to max out on your main pet. As time passes and you gain experience, your pet's loyalty level increases. It looks like a kind of bluish colored ding animation when it goes up, and it caps out at level 6. This in turn will give you more training points to spend on your pet. So what are training points then? This is a number determined by your pet's level as well as loyalty. You can choose what to spend them on by opening your beast training tab in your spellbook. This will show you all your learned ranks of abilities to train your pet with. Now, some of these abilities are learned directly from a pet trainer who are found next to your class trainers. These are, generally speaking, your defensive abilities such as extra armor, spell resistances, growl, and so on. Oh, by the way, you get a new rank of growl every 10th level, and you should go learn it as soon as possible. It's also the only trained ability that costs 0 training points too. But if you want to learn new offensive moves, you have to do it through taming beasts out in the wild. Some pets, when tamed, will have new ranks of abilities or abilities that you haven't learned yet at all. So if I just hit level 40 and wanted to teach my pet bite to rank 6, I would have to run around the world spamming beast lore on random animals until it says one of them knows this ability. Or, you know, you can just use Petopia like a normal person and look at which beasts have it. You then have to stable your main pet, go train a beast which has your desired ability or rank, and then have them use this ability in front of you, and eventually you, as in the hunter, will learn this technique and it will appear in your beast training spellbook. You then abandon this pet that taught you the ability, or I mean, you can keep it if you want, and go get your main pet back out the stable and teach them the new rank using training points. I don't know how this makes sense, but that is the system that exists. It's not totally obvious how it works, so I thought I'd just explain that. I'll talk more about pets to use during the talents part of the video in case you wanted to hear about that. Oh, and of course, don't forget about stocking up on ammo when in town either. Your general goods vendors will have some for sale. With that out the way, how does the Hunter perform solo? Well, for me, Hunter is without a doubt the single best class in the game for soloing mobs which are higher level than you. Not even elites necessarily, just stuff that's a higher level. And it's not because of their pet, though the pet does help a lot admittedly. It's because ranged attacks are kind of busted in Classic actually. For any other class in the game, orange mobs can be a challenge and red mobs are just straight up not worth the risk. For the Hunter, if you have space to run, it's all fair game. This is because ranged attacks cannot be parried, dodged or blocked. They either miss or they hit. So when you're attacking something higher level, you're rolling against way fewer failure points on their defense table compared to melee classes who will have a hard time landing attacks, or spellcasters who will have most of their spells partially or entirely resist. When you add on aspect to the cheater and concussive shot to this, you become literally impossible to catch, meaning as long as you can keep hitting whatever it is and running, they will go down eventually. This can be useful for soloing elites at a lower level than normal, picking off name mobs which are way higher level than anything else in the area, or rare mobs which tend to be a lot stronger than your standard mobs too. But even if you aren't testing the limit and going for quests which other classes wouldn't be able to do, Hunter is just an absolute powerhouse of a solo class. Low downtime thanks to the bulk of your damage coming from auto shot and your pet, good consistent damage, super long attack range, aspect to the cheater from level 20, which gives you 30% bonus movement speed up to 36% talented. This makes a huge difference in the cardio simulator that vanilla questing is, and so much more. So for the solo player that wants something pretty chill to the speedrunner looking to min-max Hunter mechanics, you really can't go wrong with this class. In a group, the Hunter is near enough always a solid addition for kind of the same reasons that they excel solo, though in groups you may be called upon for some more utility though, such as a frost or freezing trap to control groups of enemies, or using flare to check for stealth mobs ahead of you. Your pet can very much be a blessing or a curse in group content, from weird pathing leading them to pulling extra mobs, pets with dash on getting feared into different rooms, and of course the classic Hunter please turn off taunt moment. Then again you have the possibility of having an off tank, pulling large groups of enemies with Eyes of the Beast and more. Experienced hunters compared to those newer to the class will become noticeable in groups by really taking advantage of their full toolkit instead of kind of just chilling at the back and pressing auto shot. The Hunter's survivability is kind of a weird one. I don't think it's as amazing as people make it out to be, and when things go wrong, which eventually they will, you may not be well equipped to deal with it. First up though, there's the big ability I've got to mention, Feign Death. This might just be the single best defensive spell in the entire game. 30-second cooldown, instantly removes you from combat and completely drops you from the threat table. It is just overpowered in hardcore. This is the I win button of the defensive category, but there are a few things to say about it all the same. It can be resisted, specifically against higher level mobs, or when you're pulling multiple mobs. This is not uncommon at all, and it really is a single point of failure. If Feign flops, you can be in big trouble. Second is you don't get Feign until level 30. That is a lot of levels, and the early game is when the majority of players die because they don't have their class's full toolkit. You're going to be doing some of the most dangerous levels in the game without your best ability, which can be quite tough. Other things to take into account with survivability are weapon skill and defense. You need to train your active melee weapon. It's not just a stat stick. If a mob gets on you and wing clip gets parried and dodged 6 times in a row, you're gonna feel bad about that. Also, being Hunter in range, your defense skill is not very likely to be capped for your level because you need to be getting hit for it to go up. The simple way, I guess, to think about this is if your defense skill is 15 or more levels lower than its possible cap at any given level, a mob the same level as you will be able to hit you with crushing blows, which deal 150% of normal damage, as opposed to if your defense is capped for your level, a mob would have to be 3 levels higher than you in order to land a crushing blow. I just thought I'd mention this in case you're wondering why you're taking so much damage. When leveling a Hunter on hardcore, I've even received crushing blows from mobs a lower level than me because my defense has been leveled up that little. Oh, and one more thing about survivability. Before level 40, you have to use leather instead of mail, which of course provides way less armor. Either way, Hunters are well well equipped to survive tough situations. Just make sure you don't rely entirely on feign death and level your melee weapon up. Next up, how fast is this class to level up on? Well, it is vanilla, so whatever you're doing, it is going to be a long old grind, but the Hunter is absolutely up there among some of the speediest levelers in the game. Most notably, I think this class is a fast leveler even for somebody who isn't trying super hard to min-max with pulling multiple mobs, melee weaving, or anything like that. Low downtime and aspects of the cheetah from an early level are a big deal. Whilst others have to stop and drink, the Hunter keeps going and going. Now I want to talk about talents and pets. Pets first. So are there any specific ones which you should be using? Honestly, I don't think it's a super big deal, and the differences are minor between pets. If I had to choose, I would go for a bird. They have access to Screech, which causes minor damage to your main target and reduces the attack power of all nearby enemies, lowering their damage by a small amount. They can also get Dive, which is just your pet's version of Sprint, to get them between targets faster, which I think is very useful. Saying that, not everyone's starter zone has access to getting birds early, but everyone can get a cat quite early on. Cats are good as they attack fast, can learn Bite or Claw as well as Dash, and if you go down the route of Beast Mastery, ideally you do want a fast-hitting pet for better uptime on the Frenzy talent. Worth a mention in case anyone out there is lucky.
Jojo, 俺はこんなに素晴らしい力を手に入れたぞ。石仮面からお前の父親の力。エリー、吸い取っているのか、人間の生気を。頭の中が混乱している。ナイフ、父の死。ディオ、石仮面、研究ノート、脳、未知の能力、未知の力。ディオはもう人間じゃないのか。より来る。貧弱貧弱。ジョジョ。ジョジョ、俺がお前ならいつまでも俺の手に触れてないがね。くらえディオ。そんな眠っちまいそうな呪い動きでこのディオが倒せるか。絞り取ってやる。貴様の命を清めてやる。その汚れたる野望。こいつはいつの間にバラを隠し持った。モンキーが人間に追いつけるか。お前はこのディオにとってのモンキーなんだよ、ジョジョ。違う。信念さえあれば人間に不可能はない。人間は成長するのだ。してみせる。できないね。貴様はゾンビになるからな。手が燃えている。とだけだぜ。6秒経過。キルガレディオ。7秒経過。ロードローラーだ。もう遅い。脱出不可能よ。8秒経過。ぶっ潰れよ。9秒経過。
doing? Boo! I haven't even started yet, lady. Bring back the last chick. This isn't even funny. All right, let's just try to ignore that. Boo! I'd be booing too if I had your face. Excuse you? You are excused. You may leave at any time.
Hi everybody, how are you? That's great. I'm unlikable. I don't know if you guys can see my face. I have an asshole face. I look like all the presidents except one, and yeah, it's Jimmy Carter. And recently, somebody told me that I look like Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club. So that was that hurt my feelings. I'm a man, but I'm not, you know? I'm male, but I'm not a man. I identify as male, but like I'm like, you know, like I ask for help. I'm that kind of guy. All my friends that are men, they never ask for help. They could be drowning and you'd be like, do you need help? And they'd be like, I'm not gay. You're like, hell yes, dude. Hell yes. Drown on your own terms. They call that the strong silent type. I am loud and weak. And it's because I had a nice dad. If you have a nice dad, you will be a bitch. All my friends that are men, their dads never spoke to them. Never. Only time they talked to them is they'd wake them up at 3 a.m. to tell them they were disappointed. That's it. My dad would wake me up at 3 a.m. and be like, there's a meteor shower outside. I was like, oh, shit. I'm gonna be a pussy, aren't I? Yes, I'll get the telescope. Yes, I love you. Let's kiss on the lips until I'm 8. I miss it. I miss daddy kisses. I miss the stubble, you know what I mean? I asked my wife not to shave too close, and no, but it's nice. That's what I like about living in a city, is you can be a man, but not a man, you know? Like, I don't have to do man shit. I can call a man to help do the man stuff. There's some guys here that know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's dangerous to try to be a guy. That's how, like, most guys die. Like, their chest will hurt, and they'll be like, I'm a man, and then they die. And you're like, why didn't you go to the hospital? They're like, I'm not gay. You're like, you're dead. Pretty gay. That's pretty gay. You're wearing wings and a cape. Yeah. It's weird now, though, because I feel like guys are supposed to be two things. Like, my wife, she wants me to be more manly, but also vulnerable. It's very confusing. I'll give you an example. Like, the other day, she said she wanted me to be more aggressive in the bedroom, and then she yelled at me for not making the bed. That's two different guys. I can't fuck your brains out and then be like, the top sheet gets tucked. You either get the warrior or the gentleman. You don't get both. I'm either gonna spit in your mouth or I'm gonna organize the closet. I'm gonna organize the closet. I love that shit. Very, very calming. My wife calls me vanilla in bed. It's not a nickname, it's an adjective to describe the way I fuck, and that's because I don't try to murder her when we have sex. I don't know if you guys know this, a lot of younger women are more into an MMA style lovemaking, kind of a tap out UFC lovemaking. That's not how I fuck. I fuck like a Christian quarterback. A lot of athleticism, not a lot of creativity, and I thank God when I score. I will choke her. I'll choke her. If she asks me to, you know, I figured she needs to ask me. That's one part of it. And also, we have to be having sex. That's another big thing. I can't just walk up to her in the kitchen like, you like that, slut? Not good. But I don't think I'm good at it. Because the whole time I'm crying, I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then I come, and
Here there.
I don't think we understand each other's sexuality. I don't think men and women do. Like, I just think it's so different. Most of the time when you ask a guy what he's attracted to, it's like a body part.
Not ready
Like, if
yet.
you ask me, I'm like, boobs. I like boobs. Have you guys heard about them? They're great. When I ask my wife what she's attracted to, she's like, I like a guy that has a secret and he can't tell anyone. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Even the orgasm is so different. The female orgasm is like complicated and unpredictable. It's like jazz music. It's like you think you're at the end of the song and then there's like a whole other part of the song. And then she starts improvising and finishes the song herself. And the male orgasm's just like an air horn. It's just one big dumb boom. And then the air horn doesn't work for a half an hour. I'm 40. It will be back tomorrow, let's be honest. You get one air horn per day. I'm liberal, obviously. I don't like it. It's not fun to be liberal. If you're liberal, you know, we're not having as much fun. Because we have to care about everything, right? We have to, like, care about all this shit.
What can I get for you?
We're the ones that are like, is the compost out? Did all the bottles go in the right hole? How are the refugees? Do I know all the pronouns?
Talk to me.
It was like beautiful all winter in New York. I couldn't enjoy it because I knew
What
what it
we
was.
get?
It was
Oh.
really warming.
Let's get her back.
I'd step outside, it would be like nice. I'd be like, this sucks. Conservatives don't have to do that. They're like, wow, what a beautiful 75-degree Martin Luther King Day. I wasn't gonna celebrate, but now I am. This is my best example of how conservatives are more fun. They have boats. Big fucking boats. They got boats. Liberals don't have boats. We have kayaks. We have kayaks. That's what we have. Conservatives have big fucking... They have motorboats. You've never heard anything progressive ever said on a motorboat. Nobody's ever been like wakeboarding like, we gotta get more women into Congress.
Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
It's weird though, because I'm from Seattle, but I married into a very conservative family. So I'm very liberal. My mom's a Subaru Outback and Eddie Bauer edition. And but I'll say this, the conservative family is so much more fun. They're so much more fun. Because I'll go home to like a Seattle event and they'll be like, we're having a vegan macrobiotic spread. I put out a piece of parchment for everybody to write their gratitude lists on. And for dessert, we're gonna thank the moon. And then I go to my conservative family's house and they're like, we're having beer, we got ribs, and after dinner we're gonna shoot hogs from a helicopter. I think that does sound more fun. That sounds like a lot more fun. I'm vegan and that sounds fun. So I live in New York. You guys might remember it from 9/11. And, oh no. Oh shit. I love New York. I love living there because I like all of the diversity. Like I don't have any culture. I'm a city white. I'm a white guy from Seattle. I have no culture. My culture is Microsoft, Starbucks, and Fraser Crane. I took a 23andMe. They sent me back a blank piece of paper. So I love all the diversity. I like all that diversity. I like all the different kinds of people. And one thing I like to do is I like to practice Spanish with them. They do not like that.
Yes.
They do not like that.
That ability
But here's the
isn't
thing. I've been
ready
trying to
yet.
learn Spanish for like 25 años. And I'm getting muy cerca. I'm getting muy cerca. If you don't know what that means, it means very cerca. And sometimes people get mad at me, though. Sometimes people get mad. Like, I'll go into my bodega, and they'll yell at me. They'll be like, Andy, we're from Yemen. It's like, guys, somos de Yemen. Do the homework. I do have a solution for immigration. I know you guys want to hear it. Here's what it is. If you want to move to America, you should be able to. All you have to do is challenge an American for their citizenship. I don't know if you've seen some of these Americans, but I'm trying to make some trades. I'm trying to put together a championship year. Last week I went to Target. This lady walked in perfectly healthy, sat down in a rascal, rode it to the chip aisle, just started eating chips. We don't need that lady. Let's swap her out. Hungry young Peruvian dentist. We'll try this. It might get cut. I do live in New York, and like I said, you guys remember it from 9/11. I don't think anybody's forgetting about 9/11. I think it's weird that we still have the never forget stuff going. It's not a lot, but you see it occasionally, and I don't think anybody's forgetting about 9/11. Like, I live in New York. I've been down to the like World Trade Center like memorial a bunch. Never ever have I seen somebody that's like, I swear to God. There were two buildings, like right here. What's everybody crying about? All right, you guys are fantastic. Thank you very much.
Anyone balding? Anyone going through this hell? One guy in the back, shyly. Yes, sir.
That ability
Did
isn't
it start
ready
during the
yet.
pandemic? Many years before that, my friend. This is how bald people talk to balding people. My friend, you have many years of hardship ahead of you.
Enough energy.
May the wind be at your back.
I need to get closer.
I fucking got, dude, check it out. Oh, fuck you. Fuck all of you. I hate LA so much. I swear to God, I show my bald spot all across the country. LA people are like, oh, you piece of shit. You balding fuck. Your life's over. You're gonna die alone. I show my bald spot in Milwaukee. They're like, you're the hottest guy here. You're the hottest guy we've ever seen. So please leave, you know? I hate bald because it's up here. I can't see it. Does that make sense? It's happening above my, like if I was missing a leg or an arm, I would remember. I would know that. First thing, I would see it. In the morning, I would see it. I forget I'm balding. I just remember when shitty things happen to me. That's when I'll lock myself out of my apartment and I'll be like, and I'm balding. You know? That's the moment when God's like, also that is happening at the same time. I was raised Muslim. My dad's a Jew who became a Muslim, so he's the first one to do that. Pretty revolutionary man. He's not good at it, by the way. He's still Jewish. You can't just not be Jewish. Like, he's Jewish at heart. Like, he's Muslim, but he's Jewy about it. He's a Jewy Muslim. Hard to describe what that means. Like, he'll fast for Ramadan just till noon, you know. Just till lunch. He's like, I'm gonna eat. We're like, go for it, Jack. You know,
Not enough energy.
Jews are, if you're Jewish, this is a crazy thing. You're at the end of every conspiracy theory. Like, people think Jews did not just banks in Hollywood. Like, I travel, people are like, crop circles, that was Jews. That was also Jews. I'm like, first, they don't like yard work, first of all. I don't think they're doing crop circles. Also, I thought that was wasn't that aliens? They're like, yeah, we thought so. Then we thought something weirder, you know? We thought something we understand less. We went to Jews. They went from aliens to Jews. The one thing they still think is aliens is the pyramids in Egypt. And that was Jews, you know? So, give them that, you know? What else is going on? Is anyone single, you guys? The girls are happy about it. I hate when guys are like, fuck yeah, I love being single. Do whatever I want all the time. What'd you do today? I jacked off and cried. So, did it on my terms though, you know? Didn't have a girl telling me I couldn't jack off and cry all day, so that was good. I have been in a relationship before. You have to do stuff. Shut up. I said it wrong. You do have to do stuff you don't want to do. Like, every relationship I'm in, my girlfriend's like, let's get a couples massage. Let's go do that. And I'm like, okay. Every time I'm like, yeah, sure. Sounds nice. And then you go in the back, you know, at the massage parlor to like a private room. And it's like really sexy, you know. And then they send in a guy and a girl to massage you. And my girlfriend gets the guy to massage her every time, which is like, I don't want. He's like a professional toucher. You know what I mean? And I have to witness it. I have to witness a professional touch my girlfriend for an hour. And I can't see it, because you have to put your head in the hole. You know what I mean? You put your head in the hole. We both have our heads in the hole, but all I can do is hear her moaning. Like sounds I've never heard her make. I've never made her do that, like whatever that is. And I can't see, I just hear like, oh, and I'm like, are you eating her ass? Like, what? It seems like she likes that. And I'm not enjoying it, because my job, I have my head in the hole, and I'm listening to her come, and I'm all I'm doing, I'm just holding in a fart for an hour. That's my whole job. Is she's just like, oh, and I'm just like, like, don't. And this woman's on top of me, like, pushing air, like, down my back, like, going that way. And she's like, you seem stressed. I'm like, I'm gonna fart in your face. Like, your face is on top of my asshole. They don't play music you can fart to in there. Like, it's like these long harmonious tones. I'm like, I can't sneak it out, you know? Give me some jazz, you know? Give me something I can fart to. And then they take out the hot stones, you know? I'm like, I'm gonna shit everywhere. You're trying to break up? You're trying to end this relationship? Is that the plan? I don't have much time left on this planet. Poor? Is anyone poor?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Rowdy group. I started doing this thing on my Instagram. I don't think anyone could do this but me. I just posted on my story, I said, if you Venmo me any amount of money, I will scream in public. And people were like, sure. People were like, we didn't know we needed this. This is amazing. I make good money. I would just scream in public and tag them in the video. It was the best job I ever had. And this is the scream. So imagine you guys are in a coffee shop, okay? And I just walk in.
I can't do
Just made $5. And it broke my mind because nobody gave a fuck. I don't know if that was an LA thing. Like, I would just walk into places and scream, and people didn't care. Like, white people didn't care, especially. If you walk into a place and scream and there's white people, they'll be on their phone, and then they'll look up and they'll be like, I'm not experiencing that, actually. They're like, that's not part of my day, so I'm just gonna keep. Black dudes loved it. I don't know why. If I'd walked into a place and scream and there's a black dude, he'd be like, I fuck with that. Yeah. And that kept happening. I'm like, why do black dudes love when I scream in public so much? And then I was like, oh, in his mind, he's like, if I was white, man, that's the shit I would do. Like, I found this pocket of white privilege. You can scream. You can walk around. I walked into a bank and screamed. They're like, do you want a credit card? Like, we'll give you... I walked into an army recruitment center and screamed. They're like, we need you. We could use this. I kept screaming. I kept doing it. I went to the zoo dressed as a hot dog. I don't know why. I just got my friend to film me. I just walked around the zoo dressed as a hot dog screaming, and the kids fucking loved it. If you want a day, go to the zoo dressed as a hot dog, because every kid goes, hi, hot dog. I don't know why, they have to. There's something in their brain that's like, say hi, hot dog, to the hot dog. And I'd say, hi, hot dog, and their dads would be like, what the fuck is that? I don't remember that. That's part of the zoo? Got a hot dog, says hi, hot dog. So then I was like, I have to get in trouble. So I'm like, I'm gonna go scream at the Church of Scientology. Yes, thank you. It's a blue building. You can go. You can just, they make you sign in. I just write Tom Cruise. I just spell it with a Z, like it's vegan, you know? Like. But I walked in and I couldn't scream. I looked at them and they scared me. Have you seen them? They don't blink. And they were like, well, can I help you? I'm like, no, not at all. I was gonna scream, but I'm scared. And I went back to my apartment and I felt like a coward. And then I smoked a little weed and I'm like, I'm going back. And I went back. I went to the Church of Scientology. I busted in the door. Just fucking. And they were like, sir, you have to leave now. And I was like, yeah, obviously. Obviously, that was the plan the whole time. I wasn't gonna walk in here and scream and then be like, so what's it about? Like, what do you guys do? All right, that is my time. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Ready? I don't have enough energy.
Dave, how about you guys right here? Where do you guys stand?
Isn't ready yet.
Good friends?
Not
What the
enough.
fuck is the world rooting for now? Aren't we? That's how it goes. She's like, we're just two cute friends with baby faces. We're drinking a lot of alcohol together. You never know what could happen. Just good friends, for real? Recently separated. Oh, you used to date?
Married.
Oh my. You were married. You have 3 kids. Not together. This really is complicated. You have 3 kids, but you were married and you're no longer married.
We're friends.
This is like the usual suspects. I've never been so confused in my life. Wait, no, but you just got separated.
Correct.
And she had 3 kids?
No, I got 3 kids.
You have 3 kids. You should have sex with them just for having to have 3 kids. How old are you? 23. Did you ever think of coming in your hand or something? Because what the hell? You're 23? Didn't you have dreams? What? 3 kids? God damn. I take it back. Don't fuck him. He doesn't know what to do with it. That's crazy. 3 kids at 23? You did too? We get it. You're the Midwest. Jesus. You did too? How old are you? It's your birthday? Happy birthday. What are you drinking tonight? Wine? Get her a wine on me for her birthday. Come on. What? And hey, get this guy whatever the hell he wants all night. Because he fucked his life up. Whatever he wants on my tab. Because I like this dude. Why is this upsetting you so much? It's not okay? Why? Yeah, circle jerk. That's your girlfriend. She's noticeably quiet. She's like,
Too far away.
you're opposite, so she's cool. You got strangled? By who? A patient strangled? Out of nowhere? Just like what procedure?
I was taking his blood pressure.
Oh my god. I'm glad you're okay. That's fucking horrible. Whoa. Alright, people, you should strangle more nurses. Because they things really seem to pop off after that. Next time I'm getting my blood done, I'm gonna be like, you fucking bitch. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, milky.
What do you think's better, one night stand sex or relationship? One night stand right here, this dude. Yeah, why do you like it better? Just you're young. How old are you?
No, I'm not that young. 32.
32. Oh wow, you're just kind of a scumbag. Oh, so that's cool. Are you putting up good numbers right now?
That ability is
It's like socks. He's like, we're having a really good year.
The last 3 months, that was my breakup, probably like between 20 and 30.
20 and 30? That's that is. How many of them were prostitutes? Is the question. Because that's 0. So what do you do? I gotta be honest, I kind of see it now. I mean, he's like, I'm just kind of gray, and women are like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like you're like Jedi mind tricking them. This guy sits down, he's like, I'm awesome, I have a great sense of humor. This is how Trump won, by the way. This is. Oh yeah, you stood up too. Look at this one. Could I embarrass your son? Is this like the start of a porno? What the hell is that? You embarrassed my son. A stepson? I could have told you that. Is that your stepmom?
I can't do that.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, Mrs. Harper, but who is that? Is that really your son? And you just, unfortunately, Phoenix is weird. You just said, I wish it was my I know, I've got the number of a great friend, and he's gonna be like, there's a picture, I really want to fuck my mom, and the therapist's gonna be like, me too. Wow, that's. Are you here with your husband? He passed. Oh shit. Door's open, bro. That's, and I'm very sorry for your loss. This is the start. This is the lowest I've ever stooped in my comedy career. It's gonna be an awkward car ride back. That was a really weird thing the comedian just said. It was so weird. It'd be even weirder if we did it, right? That would be totally strange. Yeah, we totally can't have sex. We're mom and son.
You one night stand? Ladies, really? Who are these awesome women over here?
Bass jackers.
Besser Bitch.
MCVR.
Det tog med pin.
Here we go.
Jan Kelling. Jan Kelling. Ikke en lyserød prinsesse. Jan Kelling. Tag på toilettet. Jan Kelling. Og jeg knipper din kæreste. Jan Kelling. Har min røv. Kører bukken ned på teknisk. Sut mig, hvis du tror, jeg er lesbisk. Jeg tager mænd, når jeg drikker som en. Ryger masser af pinde. Det er
jeg mangler et shot. Klokken den er ved at være over 2. Jeg skal ikke have det om lidt, jeg skal have det lige nu. Jeg har en stille ovn, der gør dig.
Umbrella Bird Studios.
Mig og Kim og ham den store Ole. Vi går på den jyske håndværkerskole. Mit navn, det er sgu Adam. Og du får tæsk, hvis du synes din bil den er klar. Med min tomme stok, bare og en pakke med smøger. Med mit håndværkergrej kan jeg vise dig løjer. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg kan mit kram. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg kan mit kram. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg kan mit kram. Snitter, det er bare fed. Og kuldtjekkerne, de ryger bare ned. Ud til min dealer og hente noget røg. Og så hjem til min mor for at vaske noget tøj. Jeg arbejder for at få råd til hende i pille. Og pengene, dem kender skattevæsenet ikke til. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg kan mit kram. Med at pigerne ignorerer mig, så længe at jeg selv synes jeg, så jeg går i byen. Selvom jeg ikke har været i bad, og jeg stinker som et bordel, men jeg er da pisselig glad. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg er så klam. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg er så klam. Adam, Adam, mit navn er Adam. Og alle synes jeg er så klam. It's in your eyes, a color fade out. Looks like a new transition is starting up and shaking your ground, turning your they're all around me, circling like vultures. They wanna break me and wash away my colors. Take me high and I'll sing, oh you make everything okay, 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 okay. We are one and the same, oh you take all of the pain away, 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 save me if I become my demons. I cannot stop this sickness taking over. It takes control and drags me into nowhere. I need your help. I can't fight this forever. I know you're watching. I can feel you out there. Take me high and I'll sing. Oh, you make everything okay, okay, okay. We are one and the same. Oh, you take all of the pain away, away.
Very, very happy to be here. It's not always sold out comedy shows for us comedians. A lot of times we get booked at really fucked up places. Like weddings. I did a wedding a couple weeks ago, and they told me that when I came out, I could pick my favorite love song. But I didn't know the couple. And I am a comedian. I'm gonna fuck up your wedding. So I chose the Notorious B.I.G.'s Me and My Bitch. Some of y'all know it. It's a great love song. Top 5. 17 seconds into the song, the Notorious B.I.G. is so in love with this woman. He says, "You look so good, I'd suck on your daddy's dick." Bars. He said that in the 90s. Every time I hear that song, I realize I have never been in love. Not one time have I ever met a girl that made me feel like that. Moonlight strolls with the hoes. Oh no, that's not my stilo. I like a chick that like to play CeeLo and craps. Packing gats in a Coach bag, steaming dime bags. A real bitch, all I want, all I ever had. What is the Notorious B.I.G. trying to tell us? That in love you need compatibility. I smoke a lot of weed. which means I need a girlfriend that smokes weed, because I'm over the compromise. When I smoke and she don't, and she try to work with me, they're like, it's okay, you can smoke, I don't care. And then I smoke the way I smoke. Oh, another one? Wow. Another one? Yes, DJ Khaled. Another one. I do like being in LA. A lot of beautiful women out here. You gotta be on point. Because a girl out here shuts you down before you even try to get her number. That shit happened to me today. And you know, guys from New York, they say we're aggressive. I don't know if we're aggressive, but you know, I got my Timbs on. I'm feeling myself, you know. So I was like, saw some girl. I was like, excuse me, miss. Can I talk to you for a second? And she was like, time's up. The fuck? But I do like, you know, I like being out here. I'm a New Yorker. See, this is the thing. New Yorkers, we have a bad reputation. People think New Yorkers are rude. And New Yorkers, we're not rude. It's just that New York is a crowded city, like LA. You know, like we're all polite people where I'm from, but we all got somewhere to be. And a lot of us are immigrants, so questions triggering, you know? All like, hey, what's going on? It's like, fam, I'm still waiting on my papers. Relax. Like you asked me 3 questions in a row, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on, dog? Like, you know me, fam? Like when I go shopping, I like to pay for what I'm paying for and go. But then here come the questions.
Safe travels.
Hey, how are you? What's going on? How are you? Welcome to CVS. What's going on?
Safe travel.
And I don't want to be rude, but it's like, yo, I'm buying Plan B. What do you think I got going on? Secondly, I'm really in a rush. I was supposed to buy this shit 2 days ago. Can we hurry it up? There's a life on the line. The cashier was like, you are so rude. I said, I'd rather be rude than be a father, please.
Not ready yet. Probability isn't ready yet. I can't do that.
Go watch this new show on HBO called The Staircase.
Probability isn't ready yet.
It's based on a true story.
Not enough energy.
It's about a married guy. A white married guy.
Not enough energy.
So you know it's crazy. And he's married to a white woman. So you know someone dies. The story goes, one night they hanging at the house having drinks, and out of nowhere he just discovers his wife dead at the bottom of a staircase. They investigate him, they send him to jail. 2 things I learned from watching this show. If you're a married man who cheats on his wife, and then something tragic happens to your wife, even if you ain't do nothing, you going to jail. Just for being a cheater. If you want to cheat, you got to make sure your girl live in a house made of pillows. Because if she's clumsy, you in trouble. The second thing I learned from watching this show is that, like, I like slim girls, but I'm definitely going to have to marry a thick girl. Because I need a girl who can take a tumble, you know? God forbid something happens to my girl. I'm going to be in court like, Your Honor, my wife ain't died going down some stairs. She died going up some stairs. I just turned 36, and 36 is not old, but like old, you know, old things are starting to happen to me. Like I'll be falling and shit. Like, y'all laughing? I fall. I fell down the stairs at the airport. Dog, I fell down every step. I felt so slow. I was having full thoughts. I was like, I don't believe this is happening. At JFK. I felt so bad I hurt my back. Start doing yoga. Yoga is trash. Yoga is just me in a room full of women that we all try not to fart for 45 minutes. That's a waste of a Wednesday. So then I started getting back rubs, because back rubs are easy. You pay the masseuse, they rub your back, and you leave. But the last time I went, the masseuse offered me a happy ending. And that's not even my style. And I was gonna say no, but I didn't. The massage was over and the masseuse was reloading.
It's too far away. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet.
Tank!
Not ready yet.
Fire in the hole! I'm down!
That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
This is me for forever, one of the lost ones, the one without a name, without an honest heart as compass. This is me for forever, one without a name. This line's the last endeavor to find the missing lifeline. Oh, how I wish for soothing pain. All I wish is to dream again. My loving heart lost in the dark. For hope I'd give my everything. My flower withered between the pages 2 and 3. The once and forever bloom gone with my seas. Walk the path